So this is a Lunar Ultima SB. I'm going to take you around the van and show you how it operates. Front of the van, you've got your hitch, jockey wheel and handbrake, and the connection to the car. That is all something we'll go through in a separate video that will be sent over to you also. The cover you see here is the cover off the flue off the side of the van. I've actually got everything ignited on gas at the moment, but that cover there would actually clip onto the flue, as you can see just here, with the two clips at the top. And then you tap it into place at the bottom so it locks in place, just so you know where that goes. When you are operating any of the gas systems on board the van, you do need to make sure that cover is removed. Front locker, you've got your gas bottle with gas valve on top for opening up the gas bottle, reverse thread fitment going into the gas bottle, yellow gas valve on the side to isolate the gas supply if you ever need to the Caravan, and then you've got your regulator at the top. You can carry a maximum of 2 6-kilogram propane, as you can see on this particular van, propane gas bottles, and we do recommend using the propane because that is what the Get van is set up for. Coming down the side of the van, you've got your water pump connection and your aqua roll, as you can see just here. So we've got the pipe work dropping into the aqua roll on the tank itself. You've also then got your wind down legs on either side of the Caravan at the front. And you use those for stabilising the Caravan. You'd never lift the Caravan with those legs. Should have said that the water pump connection at the bottom here, this blue tab, is what you use to push it into the side of the van and to release it from the side of the Caravan also. Coming slightly further back, we've got the battery box, 110 amp battery in there, your mains power lead coming to the side of the Caravan, and you'll notice there's a red key behind there. I'll come back to that later in the video, as that is the power switch for the motor mover itself. Two vents on the side of the Caravan is for the fridge vent. The vent on the end here is the fridge vent, sorry. On the end here you've actually got the gas flue for the fridge system as well. You'd never cover these up the same as the gas flue at the front of the Caravan. Always make sure you've got them clear access to them. The motor mover, I said, I'll come back to at the end of the video and demonstrate how that works and demonstrate it operating. Then you've got your wheels, which will be torqued to 120 wheels and wheel nuts that will be torqued to 120 Newton meters before you receive the Caravan. We do advise that before you travel to check the wheel nuts, just so you know they are tight. Next up, we've got the waste water outlets. So the fresh water that goes in the front of the Caravan has to come out somewhere, and you have two grey waste pipes that push into the rings on the outside of these, as you can see just there. And the two grey waste pipes will drop down into the waste master itself. Back here we've got storage for the underbed, for under the bed at the rear of the Caravan, for the single bed at the back, and on the other side of the Caravan we'll have the same. The rear of the van, we've got the wind down legs on either side. We've only got one down for the purpose of handover, but you normally have all four down when the Caravan is being used. Again, you've got the other storage locker for the bunk on the other, or the bed on the other side. You've got your fresh water flush tank here, so you need to put 3.5 litres of water in here and a cap full of the pink fluid prior to use. And you would need to check the level of that every so often, just to make sure it hasn't emptied out completely. We've then got the toilet locker itself, the toilet waste locker itself. You pull the orange handle up, pull the cassette towards you to release. The orange neck here is what you'd pull out to tip the waste away. And on the back there, you've got an orange pressure relief button, so when you are tipping the waste away, it doesn't spit and splatter back at you. Before you use the cassette, you'll need to put 1 litre of water in and a capful, and when I say capful, I mean the grey cap here, of the blue fluid. Go up to the front of the van. Again, we've got a storage locker. That's actually a wet storage locker, so that's got a plastic box behind there. So for instance, if you had wet boots or a wet jacket you just wanted to chuck in there out of the way for the night, you could do that with that locker. At the front, you've got your barbecue gas point underneath the cover. Come inside the Caravan. The first thing we're going to do is come over to the control panel on the far side of the van, and we're going to turn on the master power once we're plugged in. And as you'll see above that, it's bringing up the battery voltage for the Caravan as well. The switch to the right of the master switch, the pump switch, is for the water pump on board the Caravan. You'll actually see that I've already filled the water system. So when I'm talking about the filling of the operation, you'll have to bear with me because I've already filled the system just so we can show that it is actually getting warm. Hopefully you'll be able to see some steam coming off that when I go through that later in the video. So first of all, I'm just going to run you through the cooker, just so you can see everything's working on the cooker. So basically through the basic operation of the van. You've got an electric ring at the back. The light is coming on. Obviously you're going to have to believe that there's heat coming out of there, off that ring, which I can feel there is heat coming off there. That will warm up to the desired temperature, whatever you've got to set out at the front. And the gas rings will work as your normal gas rings would. So I'm just going to put the camera down for a second so I can just try and video these igniting up for you. So, as you can see, all 3 electric rings working on gas as they should. Turn those off. Show you the grill next, which hopefully again you'll be able to see in the video. As you can see, the grill is burning as you'd expect it to. In the bottom, got your cooker, and again, igniting as it should. That's the cooker and hob all working, just so you can see visually that was all working. Grill pan is now back inside of there for you with the grill handle as well. So to fill the water system, the first thing we're going to do is come underneath the seat on the far side of the Caravan, as you can see. So that's the front right hand side of the Caravan. And in this cupboard you'll actually see a yellow valve, which you can see just about in the centre of the screen there, next to the white box. Now that yellow valve at the moment is parallel with the floor. That is where you'd need that valve to be if you're going to fill the water system. If you wanted to drain the water system down, you'd grab hold of the valve. I'm going to very briefly flick it up, and that would allow the water system to drain down. What you do is, you'd open that valve up completely to drain the water system down, and open all the taps up in the central position so the hot and cold drain pipes drain down completely. But to fill the system, like I said, you're going to have the valve parallel with the floor, as you can see. You're going to open all of the taps up on the Caravan on the hot side of the water system. Again, this is going to be hard to show you because I've already filled the system, but we'll open all the taps up. As you can see, you've got water coming out of the tap. However, when the water system's been drained down and it hasn't been used for a while, there will be no water in the system. When the water system is empty, what you do is you come over to the control panel just here. The pump will be off. You turn the pump on. The red light will come on as I open the tap to show the water system is working. And once you have water coming out of every tap on the Caravan continuously, you'll actually then be able to turn all the taps off and start thinking about warming the water system on board the van. To do that, you've got 2 different options. You can warm it up on gas, or you can warm it up on electric. If you was to warm it on gas, the control panel on the right hand side of the door when you walk in, very straightforward to use. You've got a gas symbol here and you've got the off position here. Twist the switch round and the green light goes off, which means it has turned off the gas. As you can see now, the green light is on, which indicates to me that the water system is working on gas. If a red light ever appeared in there, then it means it has failed to ignite. You've got a dial hit just here that goes between 30 and 70 degrees. The higher you go, the hotter the water temperature will be. If you're at 30, then obviously the cooler the water temperature will be. Below the seat on the far side of the Caravan, you've got another switch which says Ultra Store. Sorry about blocking the camera there. Just here is the electric water switch, so a bit like your water heater at home. If you turn on the water heater onto the power side, it will start allowing the water to warm up on electric. And that is as simple as it gets for the water system. Up above, the Ultra Heat switch is for your heating. Now when that power switch is on there, it will actually put power across to the control panel on the opposite side of the Caravan, which is just below the Ultra Store gas switch, as you can see here. Now down the side, you've got the off position, you've got 500 watts of power coming into the Caravan, 1000 watts of power coming into the Caravan, and 2000 watts of power coming into the Caravan. Now depending on what site you're on, you'll select the relevant power source down the side, or you can run it on gas, which I'll explain to you in a moment. But once you've got it turned on to the relevant power supply, use the dial in the centre here between 1 and 9 to select the temperature of the heater, which is just down here. With the heater, you can run it as a blown air heater, or you can run it so the heat comes straight out the front of the vents down here. If you have it on blown air, the two white vents that you see either side of that cupboard at the front of the Caravan and around the back of the van also will allow the heat to come out from there if you're running blown air. So to turn on the blown air, you'd simply put this dial across to the wave symbol just here, which will actually allow the air and the heat to come out the vents over there. The dot in the centre will allow the heat to come out the front of the heater, and the A is an ambient temperature, so essentially that will cut in and out with the thermostat on the Caravan. The dial on top here will control the fan speed on blown air. To operate the heater on gas, which I don't recommend you do overnight on any Caravan, is to turn the dial round on this side, put it between the 10 and 9, hold down the gas valve, and then the igniter will kick in. And down in this window just here, on the front of the heater, you'll actually be able to see the pilot light. So as you can see, that's burning away. Once it has ignited, you slowly release the gas valve. It will do that yellow flicker of flame, and then it will start burning properly once you've released the gas valve completely. To control the temperature on gas, use the dial on top between 1 and 9, and I can already feel the heat coming out of there as we speak. So that's the heating on gas and electric. The fridge, again, very simple to use. You've got your dial here on the left hand side to control the power source you want to use. As you can see at the moment, I've got it ignited on gas. To ignite it on gas, if you're in the off position, very simple, spin down the dial, put it to gas, you'll hear the igniter start working. Within a couple of seconds it will ignite, which it has done now. The igniter will carry on going for a few seconds in case it fails again. But as you can see, ignited on gas and working away as it should. On gas or mains, you use the dial on the opposite side of the fridge to control the temperature. Next dial we've got here is the mains operation for the fridge. So we've got mains operation, as you can see, and that has started to chill on mains power. At the bottom here, on this side, you've got 12 volt mode. What 12 volt mode is for when you're towing down the road and when you connect it to the car. It'll allow you to use the fridge on board the Caravan as a cool box. It will not completely cool the fridge. As I said, it will just be a cool box at that point in time. The good thing with that is when you do get onto site, the beers are already cold, or the wine, and you can also then get the fridge a lot colder a lot sooner. The microwave on board the Caravan works very similar to your household. There is a manual in the book pack for this particular van. Coming down to the toilet now, which is the last thing on the inside of the Caravan I'm going to go through. We've got an electric flush up on top of the toilet, just here, as you can hear, which obviously you fill the tank from the outside, and then you've got your grey waste flap on the front of the toilet, as you can see just here. You would make sure that grey waste flap is closed once you've used the loo. If not, potentially smells could come back up inside the van. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to go onto the outside of the van, raise the legs up, and then I'll be back with you to demonstrate the motor mover itself. So to operate the motor mover on this particular Caravan, I'm just going to lean the camera up just there, and just for speed I'm going to use the drill to engage the motor mover against the wheels. Normally you'd use your leg winder to do this, but what you do is you put the drill on the side, as I'm doing at the moment. Obviously then what you'll notice is on the side of the mover, you'll actually see this red line just here. When that arrow is on that red line, it means the motor mover is engaged against the wheel. Like I said, normally you'd use your leg brace for doing this, just for speed on the video. I've used the drill. Obviously if you have got a drill, then you could do it yourselves that way also. Once you've engaged the motor mover against the wheel, you can come across to the power switch on the opposite side of the Caravan and release the handbrake as you walk past. So that's the handbrake off. You come into the battery box locker itself, and you'd see the red power key just here. You turn the power on, so you've got power off and power on through 90 degrees. So when it's pointing upwards, essentially, that is when the power is on to the motor mover. You'd come back to the controller for the Caravan, or for the motor mover. Press the grey button at the bottom, the single one on its own. Wait till the green light has come on. And then in theory, we should have forwards. Oh, backwards even. We should have forwards. You'd also need to wind the jockey wheel up a bit so it's not locked in place. We'll have forwards. Turn. Turn. Oh, so you'd have your other turn. The opposite way. You have reverse. And then your turns again. Like I said, again, you got your reverse, forwards, and again your front turns. If you wanted to spin the Caravan on the 360 degrees, you press the buttons opposite each other, as you can see here. It'll actually turn the Caravan on the spot rather than moving the Caravan forward at the same time. I'm just going to put that back in place and I'll run you through how to disengage the motor mover. So once you're at that point, you'd pull the handbrake back on first, just so you know it's going to stay still when you release the motor mover. You're going to turn the power off in the locker in the side of the Caravan. Turn the controller off. Most people keep the controller inside the van or to hand. And then again, just for speed purposes, I'm going to use the drill, but again, normally you'd use the leg winder. Disengage the mover from the wheel. Then what you'll notice is the blue arrow is now right down the end of the green just here, as you can see, and that means it is completely disengaged from the wheel. Thank you for watching the video. Hope it's been of some help. If you have any questions, please give us a call here at the Caravan Company and we'd be more than happy to help.